guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's episode. And guys, today I want to talk about when a bass colored lure, whether it be largemouth baby bass, smallmouth bass, just a bass colored lure, when it outproduces any other color. And it's not, I'm going to tell you a little secret here before we get into the video. It is not when the bass are feeding on other bass. There's other factors there too. So I'm going to give you guys some good tips in today's video and think it's going to add up to some good fish for you guys. I'm also going to get started a couple different things here. Just want to invite everybody, guys, if you're looking to get some good places to fish this fall in your favorite lake, please swing by fishthemoment.com. Check out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns that I built for Fish the Moment. Great resources to get some good fishing spots and good places and find out more about the lake you want to fish. I'll link that in the description of the video. And as usual, guys, thank you very much for everybody that supports the Fishing Teacher here by using all the links I put in the description. I really appreciate that support. Okay, guys, here's an example of a bass pattern. This is actually a smallmouth bass pattern, Mega Bass Vision 110, but there's a lot of different variations in bass patterns. You got the baby bass pattern, you got largemouth bass pattern. It's been around for a long time. It's like I remember back when Bagley made like a bait called a small fry back in the early 80s. One of the first color patterns they had was a bass pattern, and bass patterns have been available to anglers for a long time, but they've never really caught on. Here's the thing about it. It's like, how many tournaments have you heard getting won on, or people saying, I caught them on this bass pattern lure? You don't hear many people talking about it because not many people use it. But there is a situation when a bass pattern color will outproduce any other color, and I want to talk about it in today's video because it has a very specific set of conditions for this to work. Now, one of the things about lure colors that you're going to find out, it's a complex topic when you're talking about lure colors, because you've got some foundational elements as far as certain lures will produce under certain situations. And then you got to add to that variable the fact that bass don't listen to that. They're going to do what they want to do. They're opportunistic. And you may say like, well, a blackback chartreuse colored crankbait's good in dirty water. And then you may find a shad pattern outproduces that in dirty water. So there's always exceptions to the rule, but you have to begin somewhere. And in my experience, there are definite trends in terms of specific colors that work better in specific situations. Not every time, but more than not. It's like over 50% of the time. So bass pattern is one of those. Now let me talk a little bit about when a bass pattern works good. A bass pattern has nothing to do with the bass feeding on baby bass, or it's not like you use a baby bass pattern in the springtime of the year when the bass have just hatched out and a lot of little bass fry swimming around like that, they're feeding on bass fry. That's not when and why bass bite a bass pattern. The bass pattern, like anything else, you can't look at it as a resembling anything else. You can't look at it as like a threadfin shad resembling a threadfin shad, or a crawdad pattern resembling a crawdad. That's not how bass see it. They're not stupid. They know it's not real. You're tricking them into bite, when you're trying to duplicate a lure. But the thing that does make a difference is the specific colors in the lure in relationship to the water clarity and the light intensity. Water clarity and light intensity, and also the tint of the watercolor, it determines how a lure looks in the water. And if you guys have followed my channel a lot, you hear me talk about the glow that a lure puts out and how a lure needs to blend in a little bit and it needs to stand out a little bit. And this is a complex thing because unless you're in the boat with me and I can actually show you, it's hard to explain. But as far as a bass pattern, when it has that glow in the water and it blends in a little bit and it stands out just a little bit, you have a window of water clarity for that to work. And that window of water clarity for a bass pattern is sort of that 2 to 3 foot zone. So you need anywhere between 20 to 35 inches of visibility in the water. You need anywhere between that much visibility to like that much visibility for a bass pattern to work the best. There's something about that water clarity that really makes them get on that. In correlation with that, the light intensity in that water clarity is a big factor too. So given the fact that this 2 to 3 foot zone is the zone you want to, clarity is the zone you want to fish a baby bass in, that is assuming you have some type of a partly cloudy day. where you've got maybe 50% cloud coverage. You know, that it's sunny for 15 minutes and then the sun gets behind a cloud for 15 minutes and it goes on like this all day long, in correlation with some type of a light to moderate wind. Those are the factors that really make them bite a baby bass good. So anytime that I have that set of situations, 2 to 3 foot of visibility, you know, some type of a partly cloudy day, a little bit of wind, this is when I consider trying a baby bass pattern. Shade and that type of stuff doesn't seem to really matter much, but for some reason, if I get in water visibility any cleaner than about 3 foot, not that good. Anything under 2 foot, not that good. That's sort of like the foundation to begin with. Ultimately, a baby bass pattern, like any other lure out there, you have to incorporate it and you have to mix it in with other color offerings. And one of the big secrets that I'll give you in bass fishing, guys, is in order to maximize the area that you're fishing and catch the most fish, you've got to have a variety of different colors to rotate through that same water. So say, for example, we've got 2 to 3 foot of visibility, and it's perfect for the baby or for the bass pattern like I talk about. I may make one pass with a bass pattern and catch 3 or 4, and then make another pass and not catch one. And then I might pick up some type of a shad pattern or crawdad pattern and catch a couple more. You always have to give the bass a different look and a different color. Bass get conditioned to colors a lot, and the color that is the best changes throughout the day, because here's the thing about it. It's like the light intensity and the angle of the sun at 9 o'clock in the morning is completely different than 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you put like a bass pattern lure in the water and you know, just reel it alongside the boat at 9 o'clock in the morning, take a video of it, come back to that exact same spot at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and do the same thing with that lure and take another video with it, the bait looks completely different in the water. And that's why sometimes you have to keep changing throughout the day and you have to experiment to see what the bass use. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to, you know, throw that out there. Baby bass pattern, smallmouth pattern. It's worth having a couple in your box under those conditions. Works pretty good for me. And probably out of all of the bass patterns out there, there's 2 different ones. Let me see if I can find the box here. Oh, 1 second here, guys. It's going to be like a topwater or crankbait. Baby bass pattern or bass pattern crankbaits are really good to use. And here's an example of like a bass pattern topwater. It's that Megabass Diamante. So the bass pattern, for me, I like them for a topwater or a crankbait primarily. So anyway, guys, hope it helps you all out, and we'll check in later.